So here we go, Pilates. Grab your mats, grab your water. This here. Okay. So finding a seat at the front half of your mat, we're going to start with our Pilates breathing. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. You want to have your head and neck aligned with your spine as you breathe. Inhale and exhale. Feel free to put your device somewhere that's comfortable for your neck so that you're not constantly straining to look at the screen. Let's bring some motion into our spine. So as we inhale, lengthen through the top of the head. Exhale, round the spine. And look toward your belly button. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhale. And exhale. A couple more times. At your own pace here. And on this next one, we're going to exhale and round our way down. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth, and continue to breathe in a nice, slow, deep pattern while we're lying neutral on the mat. Inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Our default spine position is neutral. Should be a small space under the lower back. So there's a little arch in the lower back. So as we're breathing here, inhaling and exhaling, we're going to maintain that neutral spine position even as we draw our abdominals down. So basically what I'm saying is maintain that space under the lower back as you breathe. And now we're going to imprint the lower back. So as we exhale, we're going to draw the abs down and get that lower back down, 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 in contact with the mat. So no more space under the lower back. Inhale, neutral. Release the imprint. Exhale, imprint. Inhale, release the imprint. So tailbone on the floor. Exhale, imprint. Anytime you imprint, your tailbone will come off the mat since you're rocking that pelvis backwards. I'm kind of doing an extreme version of this just so you can see it. But it's really not an extreme movement. Sometimes it's based more on feeling than on like seeing something significantly change in your body. So now we're going to imprint and lift the legs up to tabletop, knees at 90 degrees. Exhale, we tap. Inhale, return. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. We want to try to keep the neck and shoulder area relaxed. The abdominals stay engaged. The lower back stays in contact with the mat. Movement is at the hip joint, not at the knee joint. So our knees will stay at 90 degrees. We're going to try both leg moving. If you feel your lower back come off the mats, then truncate the movement. So you don't have to take the toes all the way down to the ground. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Good. So as I exhale, I'm really reinforcing the imprint so that there's no chance my lower back will pop off the mat as I lower my legs. Last one. Okay, let's take the hands wide, bring the knees together and the feet. Really anchor those arms, press into the floor, anchor the shoulder blades. Inhale as the knees come to one side, just halfway down. Make sure both shoulder blades stay anchored to the floor. Exhale back to center. Notice my heels haven't dropped. Keep the knees at 90 degrees. Inhale, this side, my shoulder blade will stay anchored. Exhale to center. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So what we're doing is creating rotation in the spine by changing the direction in which our pelvis faces, but keeping the shoulders squared to the ceiling. If we allow our shoulder blades to come off the floor, then what happens is we lose our rotation. Last time here. And you can bring your hands back down by the hips, drop your heels towards the butt, and place them hip distance apart on the floor. We're going to articulate our way up into our hip bridge, rolling up, reaching those knees away from the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, slowly roll back down, inch by inch, one vertebra at a time. Inhale, exhale, tailbone up, rest of the spine follow suits. Inhale and exhale, rolling down. Couple more. Keep going at your own pace. I'll finish one more time. And prep. Exhale, lift head, neck, and shoulders, reaching the fingertips toward the toes. Inhale, hold, exhale, release. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, hold, exhale, release. With a spine flexion, lifting head, neck, and shoulders just until the shoulder blades are off the mat. Eye gaze will be on your knees. Couple more. And last one. Going into our endurance exercise for hundreds. Go ahead and lift your legs if you like. You can keep them on the floor. Stretch those legs straight or on the diagonal. Reach and pump. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. Inhale. Exhale. 20. Eye gaze on the knees. Exhale. 30. Reach with the fingertips. Exhale. 40. Inhale. Exhale. 50. We're going to try to keep those shoulder blades off the floor the whole time. 60. Inhale. Exhale. 70. Inhale. Exhale. 80. Inhale. Exhale. 90. Inhale. Exhale. Taking it to 100. Flip over onto your stomach to warm up your spine muscles. Get the forearms on the floor, chin tucked, head and neck align the spine. We inhale to lift that chest just a few inches off the floor, just until the top half of the rib cage is up. So you're going to feel your spine arch off the mats. This is the opposite of spine flexion or of the crunch motion or ab prep motion we did earlier. Inhale to lift, exhale to relax. Take your hands as wide as you need to in order to have that flatness. Get your chest and nose as close to the floor as you can. Sometimes people keep tension up here in their shoulders. You really want to try to melt into the floor. Try taking away that assistance with the arms and reach those fingertips toward the toes as you inhale, reaching, and exhale lower. Last two. And last one. Good, reach your arm. So go ahead and have a seat in the front of your mat. Combination move today. You've seen the half roll back. So this is the half roll back. We round the spine, lower until you're about halfway back, lower back close to the mat. From here, we're going to inhale and find as much length as we can, get into neutral spine, and add a spine twist. So it's not just pulling my arms back, because I can pull my arm back without rotating. I want to pull my arm back, my elbow back, and rotate. You can see sort of more of my chest, but my tailbone and my pelvis stays glued to the mat. Square up back to the front. Exhale. Half roll back. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, half roll back. Keep those toes down on the mats. Inhale to lengthen. exhale, rotate as much as you can. And feel that shoulder blade slide toward the spine. Inhale back to that neutral spine. Exhale. So feel your abs working there and more your obliques here and a little bit of muscles in the rear deltoids. I'll do one more time on each side. So really important to find that length here before you rotate. Center. One final time to the back side. Good. Now we're going to roll all the way down. So you can have your knees slightly bent for the roll up. So I'm going to flex my foot as I inhale. I'm going to reach the arms up with the head and with the shoulder blades. Exhale, if I get stuck here, straighten those legs. Pretty much shoot those heels out and then reach for your toes for the stretch in the low back and hamstring. And go as far over as you can. Inhale, start to reverse the motion. Exhale. Keep the legs active and the heels heavy on the mat as you roll down. If you want to try keeping your legs straight for the whole roll up, you can. Inhale, arms, head, shoulders, spine on the exhale. So just transition breath as you do the movement. So I'm inhaling here as I start to go back, and then I'm going to exhale as I start to place my spine down, my head, my arms. I'm going to inhale, arms, and transition to the exhale as I use my abs to get my spine off the mat. Good. So I want to make it a nice flowy movement and just seamlessly transition between inhale and exhale. It's really helpful to have your legs active while doing this roll up. So my quads are fired up. My legs are straight, they're engaged. They're not just passively lying on the mat there. Let's do one more. And then we'll go into our single leg stretch. So go ahead and pull your legs in and come into sort of a little ball. When you do your single leg stretch, you can have your head and shoulder blades on the ground, or you can lift them up. You can extend your legs to any diagonal. You want to stay imprinted. Exhale, reach. Inhale, switch. Exhale, reach. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So we're entering our ab series. So the focus here is on our abs. Hands behind the head. Add a little rotation. And I do mean little. It's not a giant rotation. It's a pretty small rotation. You should be able to see one shoulder a little higher than the other, and that's enough. Both shoulder blades stay off the ground. Turn slightly towards the bent knee that's coming in. Elbows stay wide. 4, 3, 2, 1. Double leg stretch. Start from tabletop. Extend limbs on any diagonal you like. The lower the diagonal, the more challenge to the imprint. Head and shoulders can be on the ground, or head and shoulders can be up. Now, if you decided that your head and shoulder blades are up, they're going to stay up. So it's not really an option to go down and then up. Although there are so many variations now of ab series that maybe that is one of them. Maybe that is a variation. Give me one more. Good. Scissor. Straighten the leg as much as you can. Head and shoulders can be down or up. Try to reach as high on your leg as you can. Exhale here. Inhale to switch. Exhale. So it's a nice hamstring stretch. Still working the abs. Maintaining imprint. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, we're going to flip over on your stomach. Your abs should be pretty fatigued. So give it a little break by being on our abs to work on our spine. So before we do anything with our upper body, I'm going to do some leg lifts. Anytime we lift the leg while, you can go ahead and stack your hands and just put your forehead on there after glancing at me. Basically, whenever you do leg lifts while in a prone position, face down position, your legs are going to be straight and you're going to squeeze your butt. You're going to engage your glutes for that hip extension. So what we're trying to avoid is bending the knee and doing a hamstring curl. All right? From here, let's add some choreography. I'm going to have you take those hands away and reach those arms out to a T. So your nose is really close to the floor. All 4 limbs are on the ground. The first movement is you're going to lift both arms up. And that's it, just the arms. You're going to feel your shoulder blades squeeze together. And then you're going to reach those arms back, lift the chest, and lift one leg. So now we're in a spine extended position, arch position, arms reaching back, which you've seen before, and one leg lifting. Then you're going to return the arms, and then you're going to lower all 3 limbs. All right? A little choreography. It's okay if you do it nice and slowly. The slower the better in Pilates anyways. So for the first move, just lift the arms. Now lift the other leg and reach the arms to the back, peeling your chest off the mat. Try to keep the chest lifted and the leg lifted as you move the arms back to the T position, and then lower everything. Inhale, just the arms. Exhale, reach. Inhale, move the arms forward. Exhale, lower. As long as you're alternating the breath, it doesn't matter which you're doing. Arms, chest and leg lifts. Arms move forward. Lower all the limbs. Lift the arms. Lift leg and chest. Return the arms. Lower everything. Last time. Just the arms. Lift chest and leg as you reach the arms to the back of the room, toward the toes. Now move the arms back. That changes what your spine muscles feel and lower everything. All right, sit back. By changing where your arms are in relations to your torso, it kind of affects how your spine muscles feel. Okay, let's get on our plank position on our elbows. We're going to do a rocking plank. So if you tuck a toe under and then the other, I'm going to try to form a straight line here. And then I'm going to push into my toes to rock, glide forward, and glide back. So this is not an up and down motion. We're going to go forward and back. Forward and back. Exhale back, inhale forward. As long as you're breathing and alternating the breath, you're good. 4 more. 3 more. You should feel this in your calves and ankles. 2 more. And you'll feel in your shoulders and abs. 1 more. Good. So you're not going to just feel it in your abs. The plank works on a lot. We're going to go into our shoulder bridge or hip bridge. So if you can just do a few with your feet hip distance apart, no articulation. So lift those hips straight up and put it back down. Good. So first variation is we're going to lift the hip. So squeeze butt and abs and then lift into the toes. Work the calves. Lower the heels. Lower the butt. Lift the butt or lift the hips. Lift the heels. Heels down. Butt down. Tailbone down. All right, let's make sure we're breathing. Exhale, lift. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, heels drop. Inhale, butt down. Keep alternating the breath, starting with the exhale here. Yeah, we're not pushing our hips as high as possible. We're pushing until it's neutral. So we're looking for a straight line from shoulders, hips, and knees. When we lift off the heels, shouldn't change anything about our neutral. Try to press through your heels to lift the butt, and then engage the calves to lift the heels. 2 more times. So really feel your butt. You should also feel your abs. Okay. We're going to do another exercise in the same position. So instead of lifting our hips up with both feet underneath us, only one leg's going to be down. So I'm going to go ahead and lift the front leg, the leg that's closer to you. We're going to extend the leg on the diagonal. And I'm going to crunch up. We good here? As I lower my shoulders and bring the leg back to tabletop, I'm going to be in prime position to push through my back foot and come into a single leg hip hinge. Okay, let's breathe. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lower. Exhale, hip lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, abs. Inhale, return. Exhale, glutes. Inhale, lower. Same leg. Keep alternating the breath. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Give me 2 more. Slowly, in control. Feel the abs. Actively reach those fingers, shoulder blades off the floor. Lower with control. Right, we lower with control. We don't just plop our head and shoulders back down. Let's switch. My body just kind of moved a little bit while I was doing the crunches, so just kind of reset yourself here. And then reach. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Ideally, the right and left hip are the same height, even though only one leg is pushing your pelvis up. Take your time. Do 4 more. Really push through that one heel on the ground. Actively reach. Strong leg, strong straight leg as it extends. Last one here. This last one coming up. And we're going to continue with some of our leg extensions here. This diagonal leg extension. You can pick any diagonal you want. Just remember that the lower the diagonal, the more challenge for the imprint. Prop ourselves up on our elbows. Just for a little variety. If this really doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can do all of it lying down again. Okay, but we are doing this movement and then lower, lift, and return. So it's not exactly what we've been doing. So again, you can do it lying down, or part of the challenge of propping ourselves up is that our body's at an angle. And because our body's at an angle, it's a little harder to keep the legs lifted. And the other thing is we try to sink in. So we want to lift the chest and then imprint the lower back. So this is me arching my back. I'm going to lift the chest, but I'm going to imprint the lower back. So you see my pelvis tucked under. Good. From there, lift the legs to tabletop. Extend the front leg on the diagonal. Lower. Get close to the floor. Stay imprinted. Try not to lose this imprint. I know I'm talking about imprint and your lower back is not even touching the floor, but it's the same thing. You basically do a little pelvis tuck, pretending the lower back has touched the floor. Extend. Keep that chest up. Stay lifted through the shoulder. Lower the leg. lift, return to tabletop. So again, the hardest part is that we're doing an imprint and a propped up position. Extend, lower, lift, return, exhale, straighten the leg, inhale to lower, exhale to lift, inhale, return. Well, there's a lot to think about. We're thinking about breathing and also thinking about keeping our chest lifted, staying lifted through the shoulder, and imprinting that lower back. Exhale, straighten, inhale, lower, exhale, lift, inhale to tabletop. One more time on each side. Good. We go ahead and release the elbow and come back down. And we're going to come back onto our stomach. We're going to do swimming. So this time we're going to keep our arms overhead, body in a narrow X. So if you reach to the corner of the room, that's quite sufficient. You're going to lift the right arm and left leg, so just opposite limbs. And you're just going to have your chest lifted just slightly, but keep the head and neck aligned with the spine. And then you're going to switch. As the two limbs go down, the other two limbs are going to come up. Good. Switch again. Keep the arm straight and the leg straight. Keep reaching, always reaching away from your center point, reaching for the corners of the room. And switch. And switch. Inhale. And exhale. A lot of spine endurance here because we're basically keeping the chest up. And at least one of your glutes and part of your rear deltoids are always engaged. Keep alternating the breath. Legs nice and straight, arms nice and straight. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, that's particularly challenging. Go ahead and sit back and stretch. Just because there is a little bit more spine endurance. We're basically not allowing our chest to come down. It's always kind of at a low hover. I'm going to have you come to your side here. So if you align your body to the long edge of your mat, you should be able to see your feet if you keep your head and neck aligned with your spine. You can do a quick lift of the arm, make sure you're in the right position. You don't want to be too wobbly, which is why we use the hand with the kickstand. Keep your kneecaps and toes facing forward in that neutral position. Top leg will lift no higher than the hip. Nice, strong legs, straight. Keep the hip from hiking here. Oh, I'm wearing my orange band today, so this is hiked. This is not hiked. You can see how my hips behave. So this is the basic side lying leg lift motion. Target is our outer thighs. Outer thighs are also part of the core musculature since they attach to the pelvis. Do every exercise that we normally see in the side lying leg lift series. I'm just going to kind of pick and choose some. So the next exercise I'm going to jump right into is the double leg lift. So here you're going to feel a little bit of obliques here. Keep reaching all toes away from the head to find that length. If your foot's cramping, you can reach the heel away. You still have a lot of length and strength in your legs, even if your foot is flexed. And from here, I want you to lift your legs high and then scissor. One goes forward, one goes back. How far a leg goes forward and back is up to you. But try to move slowly so that waist and above is very still. Even though you have your hand as a kickstand, you don't want to go so fast that your whole body is like spazzing, which you can see what I just did there. There's still a lot of control, and it's not, you don't want total reliance on your fingers. My fingers are there, but you know, if I lift it for a moment, I should be okay. All right, this next exercise, we're going to have the legs go up and down or straddle. So this is forward and back. So if you lift your leg to the hip height, the top hip's height, then you open it up. So it's a straddle split, but don't straddle too much. My leg that hits the ground is not actually resting on the ground. I'm just, at the moment I touch the floor, I don't put any weight on it. I just come right back. So a mini straddle. This is a variation of the heel beats. So heel beats like this. Beat the heel, beat the heel, beat the heel. This is a slower and bigger variation. So we're going wider than before. And the heel beats. And then we're coming together slowly. So basically we went from forward back to side side. Give me a couple more. And then let's switch sides. Whew. That's it. That's it for the sideline variations today. So we're setting up, not letting the hip hike. I always start every sideline leg lift series with the basic leg lift to set it up properly. So no external rotation. External rotation is if the toes and kneecaps are facing upward. We're going to keep them facing forward, and that's neutral. Again, you can do this with your foot flexed, as long as your quadriceps are engaged and your legs are nice and straight. Keep breathing. You can inhale to lift or exhale to lift. Your choice. Just alternate the breath. All right, it's time to pick up both legs. Again, my fingertips, I'm not putting a ton of weight into them. So at any moment, if I wanted to lift them, I can. Now you can't see your feet, but hopefully you know what they're doing. Your body should be a nice straight line, aligned with the edge of your mat. If you can see your feet, it means your head and neck is not aligned with your spine. It's like out of alignment. Okay, let's scissor it forward and back. And lift your legs as high as you can. Most likely it will be hip height, the top hip height. And then we'll move one forward and one back. I'm really trying to keep this slow, so it's not like any momentum of like swinging the legs forward and back with speed. There's a time and place for momentum, and even for Pilates, sometimes we need a little momentum. It's all about knowing when to use it. Okay, if you need to rest, take a rest. Otherwise, we're going to go into our straddle. So again, start from the lifted position, and they open up laterally away from each other. Look at the one time that your top leg will go higher than parallel. Your top leg starts at parallel. It's got to go higher if it's going to go somewhere. But it doesn't go too high. I would say, about a foot, 12 inches. Hip width apart a good look then. And try not to let the bottom leg rest when it hits the floor. It's just a quick tapping on the floor, quick touch, and then right back up. Do 4 more. 2 and 1. Good. Oh, that's pretty intense. Just a quick stretch here on the outer thighs. Go back into a little bit more abdominal work. Switch those legs. So this next exercise we're going to do, it kind of looks like double leg stretch. But if you notice for Pilates, a lot of the exercises are all similar with a slight variance. all follow kind of like the same principles. So we're going to bring our legs to tabletop. I'm going to have my hands behind the head for this one. And keep in mind, anytime you lift the head, neck, and shoulders with your hands on your head, you're giving your abs more work, more weight to lift. You've got to lift the weight of your arms. So if you don't want to lift the weight of your arms, you can always have your arms here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a staggered leg extension. So with the legs at tabletop, lower back imprinted, stagger by stretching the first leg out. I'm going to do the front leg. I'm going to do my back leg. And then I'm going to crunch in. And then I'm going to lower my shoulder blade. And now we're starting back at the beginning. I'm going to lead with my other leg. So my rear leg goes first, the leg that's farther from you, and then the front leg. And then I crunch like that. So so the first time if you lead with your right, and the next time you lead with your left. All right, so let's talk about the breathing. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, extend one leg. Inhale to hold. Exhale, extend the other. Inhale to hold. Exhale, crunch. Legs to tabletop, shoulder blades come up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, hold. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, hold. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lower. We're not in the crunch for a very long time. Because by that very next inhale, we lower the shoulders and head. Straighten. Straighten. Crunch. And lower. You should feel your ab working the whole time. On the first straightening, even more tension on the second straightening, and then tension here. Different tension. Right. Left and crunch. Left. Right. And crunch. So I know everyone may or may not be mirroring me. As long as you're alternating which leg extends first, you're good. And even if you didn't, not a big deal. Because eventually both legs get straightened. It's just for pure symmetry. We try to take turns leading. Last time here. Back leg. Leg. Okay. Let's give our abs a little break and come back onto our stomach. So that's what Pilates is. We're basically going back and forth from our stomach to our abs. It's really always good to do opposing muscle groups, partly because of balance, front and back, but these are our postural muscles that we're hitting here. All right, so we're going to try some arm positions. So we have the T, which we did earlier, right? And I know we lifted, but this time we're going to actually just keep everything lifted and stretched at the same time. So if you start with your bent elbow position, on the inhale, you're going to lift, and this is what I call W. You're going to reach out to a T, pull back into a W, and lower. And if you'd like to lift your legs, you can lift your legs, or you can keep them both on the ground. The next is the Y. So if you want to do it with the leg lift, here's the W, reach to the Y, so slightly ahead, back to the W, and lower. The last and final position is the I. It's straight ahead. It's a little more challenging. You might feel things in your shoulders, like any shoulder impingement. Feel free to skip the I. Just keep alternating between the T and the Y. Okay? I'm just going to demonstrate the I in case anyone's interested. So you lift straight ahead. That's the I. Back to the W and down. Inhale, lift. T, W, and down. Inhale. Exhale, Y. Pull back. Keep alternating the breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, I. Inhale, back to the W. Exhale, low. I'm going to go through each one more time. Know that every time we're lifted, it doesn't matter necessarily where our arms reach to, we are working our spine muscles. Last one, go ahead and push back and into your spine stretch. All right, let's come onto our side for a side plank here. So believe it or not, I actually much prefer side planks with the bottom knee bent because I feel more in my obliques. Sometimes when my legs are straight, I just end up feeling so much into my legs that I don't feel as much in my obliques. But I think each person is different. Also, you want to be aware of your shoulders. If it's a lot of weight in your shoulders and you'd rather focus on the abs and not on the shoulders, it makes sense to have your knee down. So let's go into the basic side plank with the bottom knee bent, lift and lower. In the side plank, it's okay to go a little bit beyond neutral, unlike the forward plank, because when your butt is in the air in the forward plank, you're not working your abs anymore. When you lift a little beyond neutral, your obliques are actually still working. But come to neutral, that's fine too. Give me 4 more. Good. Limiting factor sometimes isn't just the obliques, it's also the shoulder. So feel free to just face the back of the room. I'm going to just turn around for 8 more. Stay strong and lifted through the shoulder. The reason I keep this arm up is because it reminds me to stay lifted out of the shoulder instead of sinking down into the shoulder. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. I'm going to go back to the first side. I'm going to change my leg position. So if you recall doing clamshell, which if you want to be off your elbow and you want to do sort of what I consider the basic clamshell or more often done clamshell, you can do that. This is going to be a oblique lifted clamshell. So here's the clamshell. Knees are about 90 degrees. I have a straight line from shoulders, hips, knees, and ankle. So the only thing that's out of alignment is my knees because they're forward. So you can do this here. You can do it lying down, or you can do a little hip lift as the knees move. All right, we're going to do 8 of these. Gave you a lot of options. Take the option. 8, 7, 6. So you're pushing into that bottom shin. 5, and of course the forearm. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. I'm going to switch sides. And again, remember, you can lie all the way down, do clamshell like this. You can prop up, do clamshell and keep the hips down, or you can do the hip lift clamshell variation with me. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure my feet are aligned. So one thing you can do is you can kind of put your elbow near the back edge, your butt near the back edge, your feet near the back edge, and then just pull your knees forward, and then you know everything's pretty aligned. For 8, 7, 6. Exhale to lift. 4, 3. It doesn't have to be a huge hip lift. All right, well done. I don't know what's looking back here. But we're going to do some teasers. Bring your legs to tabletop. So this is about weight transfer, some physics, and timing. So if you inhale, reach your arms, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. You got to extend your legs and crunch up, use your abs at the same time in order to come up to your tailbone. In order to counterbalance the rolling down, you have to open up again, extend the legs, and then roll down with control. You should feel your abs on the way up and on the way down. Inhale. head, shoulders, exhale, legs, abs. Good. And just to demonstrate, if I don't extend my legs and I start to roll back, I'm just going to fall back. All right, I do feel my abs there. Inhale, exhale. Just like the roll-up, we're looking for smooth, slow movement and just transition seamlessly between the breath. I'm inhaling, I'm exhaling. I'm inhaling, I'm exhaling. So you can hear my forceful exhales through the Zoom. I'm trying to breathe as noisily as I can, but I don't know if you can hear it. Inhale and exhale. Let's just do one more. So the great thing about teasers is you can extend your legs as quickly or as whatever diagonal you want that helps you roll up. That's the end goal. And even if someone says they can't do a teaser, I always argue with that. Everyone can do a teaser. It's just about learning about your body, learning about your torso length, your leg length, you know, how much your spine rounds. Teasers are very personal to every single body, so you have to figure out what works for you. So let's get our wrist underneath shoulder just for a final cat-cow. You want to arch the back as much as you can, lifting the chest, keep the head and neck aligned with the spine, and then round the spine again. Just a great way to ease to the end of Pilates. And then from here, just look over our shoulder towards our butt, like we're looking for our tail. And then the other side. A little bit of lateral bending in the spine. This is done in a flat back, neutral spine position. This is kind of what dogs do when they're looking for their tails to chase. And then the last thing is just a little spine stretch rotation here. So you're stretching the obliques as well as the muscles responsible for rotating in your lower back. Yeah, I don't have all my weight in my head, by the way. I still have some weight on my shoulders here, and then partly in this hand. So you're not like putting a ton of odd pressure in your neck or your head at a weird angle. And that's Pilates for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions.